Welcome to the channel. I'm Stacy, and my goal here is to help you to play better and sound better in your worship services. I'm in the process of modding this guitar. Again, it's already pretty modded out, but I'm going to be doing a few new things to it, and I just wanted to kind of chronicle that with this video, do some sound samples of it in its current state, and then do some sound samples of it in its updated state, and then see how they compare, and if I like this better or if I do like the new changes better. I'm just curious to see. So this guitar is already pretty modded. Stripped the paint down to the wood, the original finish, and I finished it with nitrocellulose lacquer, which was what they used to use in the 50s and 60s. I also replaced the lead wires off of all three pickups with a push wire, which was also original Fender spec. And then the different thing I did is I put a 4-way Tele switch, and that gives me bridge neck, which is the similar sound to Telecaster in the middle position or Les Paul. And then neck, and then bridge neck in series, and that's supposed to be like a humbucker, but it didn't really have the bite that I would want out of that tone, and so I don't use it. And then the middle pickup is set up on this middle pot, just as a volume control. It's either up or down. And while I like that for the tones I got, I don't like not being able to access that pickup without having to turn the knob. And it's a bit cumbersome doing it live, and so I'm just going to try something new. So the other thing I'm going to be doing is adding a copper plate, a copper metal, a copper coated steel plate to the bottom of each pickup. I would just do the bridge, but the kit came with 3. So I'm going to try it on all 3 pickups, but I've always wanted the Tele pickup tones on my Strat, and we'll see if that gets us there. I'm also going to be changing out the potentiometer right here in the middle. That's going to get changed to a push-pull pot. When it's down, it'll be tone control for the middle and neck pickup, which I currently don't have. They're just going straight. The tone control is only affecting the bridge pickup, so I'm going to like that. And then pulled up, it's going to activate my neck pickup. So if I'm on my bridge pickup position, I can pop that up and then have that nice glassy tone of the neck and bridge. I'm going to be running through my dual super reverb setup on my HX Stomp, with a light bit of delay and reverb, and the carbon set with just a light bit of drive, a little bit of compression. I'm going to run through a little piece, do a little bit of palm muting, some open chords, and run through all 5 positions of the standard Strat tone, and then also include that 6th option with the bridge and neck. All right, let's hear it. modification done. I just loosened the strings. I didn't take them off. I was able to slip the pick guard out with everything on it without taking them off. The middle pot got switched out for a push-pull pot. So I just pushed it down when I had it on those two, the tones with the middle or the neck and the bridge pickup. So the tone pot for the bridge pickup stayed the same. I didn't mess with that at all. The volume stayed the same. I didn't mess with that. Just unhooking the 4-way switch that I had before, hooking up the 5-way switch. The wiring stuff always gets a little wonky, and I have yet in my 51 years on this here planet to find a diagram for a Strat or Tele toggle switch that actually works when you wire it up according to the diagram. I can usually figure out where the pickups go, and then as far as getting tone control, it's always just a matter of holding the wire on the stud and then seeing if that did anything. So that was the case today. I spent a couple hours trying to troubleshoot that and get it figured out, but I did. So we've got tone control for the bridge pickup, tone control when this is pushed down for the neck pickup. I wasn't able to figure out how to include the middle pickup in that without doing some weird wonky thing, so I left it out. And then volume control for all of the pickups, and then pulling this up engages the neck pickup. And something I didn't cover, but what would actually work, is when I've got it in this position, I've got these two pickups active. This is pulled up. If I roll that back a little bit, it's going to kind of lose that glassy, bubbly tone that it has and just become a thicker version of my bridge pickup. So that's useful too. I also, if you notice the tone capacitor, it's pretty big. It's maybe a little bit more than an inch long, kind of a Tootsie Roll looking thing. I have no idea what that is. It came out of a project guitar from the 80s. The guitar was probably from the 60s or 70s. And it was given to me as like, hey, see what you can do with this. And what I ended up doing with it was probably just taking it apart and kind of putting the old capacitors in a box somewhere. It ended up in this guitar. I couldn't be more happy. I just used an orange drop for the tone cap for the neck pickup, and it's a quality one, so it sounds good. So you heard those samples before and after. I haven't really been able to listen to it closely to see what I think, but hopefully there's a significant difference, because I'd like to think that you do something that different to your setup and that you're going to hear it. So in a minute, I'm going to play back to back. So it's not all of the pre-mods, all of the post-mods, but then it'll be bridge pickup, pre-mod, and immediately post-mod. And that way you can hear the tones. Probably just stick to that palm muted section and go through all the positions so you can hear them back to back and be able to really see what kind of difference there was. Do you modify your guitars yourselves? Do you outsource your mods, or you just buy a different guitar if you want a different sound? I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, subscribe and hit that like button for good measure. If you need song resources, there are links in the description box below to take you where you need to go. There's also a handful of downloads free for you in there as well. All right, I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you in the next one.